Show's about to start live. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today. It's been a while. It's good to be with you. Connecticut for today. This is The Psycho by Asylum. I think it's a nice little Connecticut. Easy price point, easy to work with.
As far as the investigation itself, we're still trying to verify and confirm some video, but it appears to show a significant portion of the incident as it happened. There's an individual that's taken into custody. He's a white male. Whether or not that's the person that police ultimately arrested and will ultimately charge in this crime, a bit of a question at this time, but that's just what we've seen so far. As far as the investigation...
He wasn't a white male. He was an Egyptian national. He was never a white male. This guy who tried to set people on fire in Colorado because they were Jews, let's be clear, because they were Jews, because they were supportive of returning hostages, freeing hostages. That's why this Egyptian man, this Egyptian national who had overstayed 2 visas, took Molotov cocktails and a makeshift flamethrower to a park to try and kill these people. Now, there are murder charges against him, but just not for this incident. Those charges could change. Tony Katz Today. Good to be with you. Find everything I do over at TonyKatz.com. It's good to be with you. Buy guns, buy ammo, get trained. I apologize for absolutely nothing. When you hear this story and how this story broke down, when you see the video of this guy just standing there and no one is able to do anything because no one in Colorado seemingly is armed, you realize how important it is to take a look at states that tell you you're not allowed to have your Second Amendment rights and tell them to pound sand and immediately take back your Second Amendment rights. And as I have stated before in a multiplicity of ways, it is imperative that you tell your faith leaders that you are going to carry a firearm into your synagogue or into your church. And if they have a problem with it, fire them. These people who gathered in Boulder, Colorado, there were maybe, as I saw the little march that they did, maybe there was 50 of them. Maybe it was only 40, maybe it was 60. It wasn't 500 people. It was a small gathering. And they gathered and carried signs, free them now, those kinds of signs, because they wanted Hamas to return the hostages. It's been over a year. It's been a year and a half. It's been longer than a year and a half. And Hamas still holds the Israelis. Americans have been released. The Israelis not. This terrorist organization, funded by Iran, supported by absolute losers on college campuses. And let's be clear, let's stop calling them students. These are grown men and grown women who absolutely hate America and absolutely hate Jews. Well, that's at MIT, that's at Harvard, that's at Columbia, that's at NYU. Dear Lord, you send your kid to an Ivy League school, you hate your kid, and you want them to be surrounded by nothing but hate. That's obvious at this stage of the game. There is no debating it. There is no making it better from the inside. These universities, these institutions must be broken. Harvard losing billions of dollars of federal grant money? Good. Well, we won't be able to do our research. Somebody else will do the research. We'll be fine. You low-life, no-good, dirty bigots don't get any of the money. That's all there is to it. None of us in the private sector who didn't go to Harvard should fund anything you do. We'll fund other schools. We'll fund better schools. And if we don't fund schools, we'll find a lab and we'll fund them. We will do work with people who don't actually want to hate the country and destroy the country and support racist, bigots, sexist, and anti-Semites, which is to say Hamas, while they're keeping Israelis prisoner after they murdered 1,200 Israelis. They started the fight. Palestinians were fine with it. I look forward to Israelis ending the fight, but Israelis want their people back, and they're willing to do near anything to make that happen. And they keep pushing for that. God bless them. These people are reminding the world that these hostages exist. These are the people who put up the posters and say, hey, these hostages exist. And then you have the Hamas supporters who tear down the posters because they don't care. If the desire is the end of Jews and the end of Israel, the more hostages, the better, according to them. So they gathered in Boulder, where this guy shows up with Molotov cocktails and he throws at this crowd. People got set on fire. There were reports, although I am curious to know if any of those reports get updated. Because as you guys know, a report will come out and then a report will get updated in hours later or days later. The heat was so intense their skin melted off. They wanted to free hostages. They didn't engage in anything else politically. They just want to free hostages. That's what normal people want. That's what rational people want. They don't want to see people kept hostage. They want people to live free. No. Not Hamas and not those who support Hamas, whether they be on college campuses or whether they be Rashida Tlaib or Ilhan Omar or the people who support them like Chris Van Hollen and Congressman Andre Carson and a host of others, seemingly fine with hostages. This guy, this terrorist sympathizer, this Egyptian national by the name of Mohammed Sabri Solomon threw Molotov cocktails on them, tried to burn them alive. He was screaming, how many children you killed? We have to end Zionists. They are killers. The video is there. And he was also screaming Palestine free, I assuming his English not perfect. That's the way he translated it in his head. He was then arrested. The problem is nobody there could defend themselves. Nobody there was set to defend themselves. Absolutely no one was prepared to do what was necessary to end this guy's violence in trying to disfigure, maim, and kill. And the objective was to kill, and the objective was to kill Jews. Now, the overall objective is the destruction of Western civilization, which is why you can no longer allow Egyptian nationals into the country. Don't want to hear it. Don't care. It's not racism. It's not bigotry. It's not xenophobia. They can't be trusted. Well, Tony, that was just one guy. Sorry, one guy ruins it for everybody. I was told that if one person uses a firearm improperly, I'm no longer allowed to have a firearm. And so same rules apply, lefties. Don't want to hear your garbage. This guy set people on fire. No more Egyptian nationals. And while we're at it, no more Chi-Coms. But I'll get to the Chinese communists in a little bit and their favorite party school, Harvard. That's a crazy story. Can't allow people into the country who run in the opposite direction of the American way of life, of our pluralist society, of people having free speech. You can't have them here. That includes on the college campuses. So when you see the Trump administration saying, sorry, Harvard, you don't get to bring in these foreign students. No, we don't do any more student visas. Ignore the judges who try and stop you and keep going with that, including you, Secretary Rubio. Put an end to the student visas and tell the universities that they have to figure out how to deal with the cost. Well, we're going to raise prices. You see, I don't believe in pressuring Walmart to raise their prices because of tariffs. But I'm all fine with telling a public university, who the hell do you think you are, raising the prices on Americans? Just because you figured out a whole budget by taking all these foreign dollars and teaching people who hate us how to hate us more. Harvard's a bad place filled with bad people. It's not my fault for noticing. It's their fault for being bad people who teach bad people to hate us. We should blame them. We should say you're disgusting. We should say you are despicable. You are worthless, Harvard. You don't deserve any of our love or attention. We're not even interested in hiring your graduates anymore. Bye. Claudine Gay wasn't bad enough. Claudine Gay was the president who wouldn't admit to anti-Semitism on campus, couldn't even really define anti-Semitism. So she had to lose her job as president, but she kept her $900,000 a year salary because, you can't take that away from her. No more Egyptian nationals. But that's not even the real story here. The story here is 1,000% buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. I have, if you know me at all, on my local show in morning show in Indianapolis, on this nationally syndicated show, in speeches and other places, I have made the argument for years now: buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. If you don't understand that you're under attack, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know how else to describe this or explain this. I think the only thing I can do is keep saying it as I am. If you are Jewish in the United States, you're under attack. That wasn't true 10 years ago. It is true today. It's undeniable. And if you're not willing to accept that, well, then you're insane. And you know what? Saying that you're insane doesn't quite hit all the things that need to be hit. So first, don't worry, my Christian friends. I'm going to get to you. You're a different subject, but we're all part of the same. They want us all dead. I'm going to get to that. So let me just start with my people, Jews. If you are not armed every time you go to a synagogue, every time you gather, you are too stupid to be alive. And don't worry, you won't be for long. You're quite literally the dumbest people on planet Earth, and you're supposed to be the smart ones. Your liberalism will not save you. Your kindness will not save you. Your donation to Act Blue will not save you. If you don't understand that all of these college students who are grown adults, this Egyptian national, all these people want you dead and are actively trying to kill you. They set Governor Josh Shapiro's home in Pennsylvania on fire. They killed 2 Israeli embassy workers right in front of a museum. Do you not understand that they want you dead? You will not survive it. You are not smart enough. You are not lucky enough. You are not caring enough, and you are not kind enough. What is wrong with you that you are so wholly damn dumb that you don't understand that the next bullet comes for you or your kid? The next firebomb comes for you or your kid. The next, you name it, comes for you or your kid. If you think, my fellow Jews, mishpucha, if you think for a second you are going to somehow get through this and get past this because of your liberalism, you're too stupid to be alive, and soon you won't be. You have to get armed, buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. You have to be prepared in every situation to protect your life, yours and the ones you love. And that not only is when you're gathered, but that is also in your synagogue. Anybody who's not armed in the synagogue is wrong. Now, some people physically can't. Some people may actually have an issue or shouldn't. Okay. But in the main, everyone needs to be armed and everyone needs to be ready. You're a sitting duck. If you're not armed, you're wrong. And if your rabbi says we don't allow that here, fire your rabbi, because your rabbi is crap. He's garbage, worthless. And that goes for your Reform rabbis and your Reconstructionist rabbis who somehow want to think that their liberal talking points from the Bema, God forbid they should actually talk about Torah, is somehow going to save them. Now, you might think I have gotten off subject here. I haven't. It was just necessary to say and lay down the marker I said I would get to my Christian friends, and I'll get to everybody else, and I said I would, and here it is. You all know that this is about the destruction of Western civilization. You know it. And you know Jews are just the first target. You're the next target. Because the leftist wants to burn it all down. Look what they did to the United Healthcare CEO. That's coming. These people are emboldened. They believe that violence is the answer. They believe that they are somehow righteous in their violence, and they will come for your Christian kids. This is not some fear-mongering. This isn't standing on some sort of soapbox. This is now, here, this moment. This is happening. What's your plan? Christians are not left out of this equation. The leftist, the Islamist, the Marxist, pick your group, all have the same desire. Now, eventually the leftist and the Islamist is going to fight each other. You understand that, right? They're not going to coexist. They will fight each other. Right now, we're the ones in the way. So, what's your plan? Because your choices are survive or don't. And I'm sick and tired of anybody who doesn't have this conversation exactly like this. How much more do you need to see? How many more people need to die or be set on fire? How many more lives need to be damaged, lost, or kept in a cave underneath the ground in Gaza? Buy guns, buy ammo, and get trained. And drop from your life anybody who says no. It's a war. It is what it is. And anybody who says otherwise is just stupid. There's no other way to say it. I'm Tony Katz. Guys, welcome back. Thank you, producer Kylan. I appreciate Kylan's producing the show today. Good to be with you guys. I haven't done a live stream in forever. So if you didn't know, what had happened is that this arm right here, I tore the tendon that connects my bicep to the arm, to the radius. I did it to this arm 12 years ago. It stinks. It's not that it's so painful. It's just it's frightening. It's super weird. And the minute I did it, I actually screamed out, "I can't believe I did it again." I knew exactly what had happened. So I was in a sling and I was just uncomfortable and I couldn't put on shirts. And so I'm wearing these kind of like cut off shirts. I look ridiculous. And then I had surgery to reattach, which is do you want to hear the process? I'll tell you the process. The process involves drilling through the bone and then pulling the tendon back, reaching in, and then pulling it through this thing and attaching it to a button so it holds onto the other side of your arm. It's like, who thought of this idea? So it's not that I'm in pain, and I'm really not, although I do keep the arm elevated and everything else. It's just annoying, and it's the super slow, stupid rehab that's going to take months before I get strength back in the arm. So like for a month, I was just in no position to be on camera and do this every day. And then I started doing some TV stuff again, then started doing the morning live stream. And so now I'm back to here. I don't know if I'll be doing, the full show or not, but I'll be doing some of it. I'll be doing some of it right there. And Sarah, way to go with the thumbnail. Good for you. Very, very impressed. She said, so the plan is to get the one big beautiful bill passed. The Republicans realize that they want this bad. They absolutely have to get these tax cuts through.
I said this on the House floor. You know it's a good bill because the left hates it. And the left hates it because it has core common sense Republican principles in it. It cuts taxes. It secures the border. It says if you're an able-bodied adult and you're getting welfare, you're going to have to work. And it says to moms and dads, we got school choice in here. So we know you are the best one to pick where your son or daughter is going to get the best education. 4 key Republican common sense conservative principles. That's why the left doesn't like it. That's why it's good legislation.
The left doesn't like it because the left doesn't like anything that involves the Republicans getting a win or Trump getting a win. The left doesn't like anything. I mean, they don't even like themselves. Oh, the data, CNN was going through it, that Democrats don't like Democrats. Democrats don't think Democrats could lead. Democrats are convinced that Republicans have a better understanding of not only subject matter, but of leadership. It's special. It's fantastic. But no, it's not the Democrats of anything about this bill, Congressman Jordan. That's not it. That's a misnomer. It's Republicans put it up, so therefore it must be bad. This is all they do. This is all they have, all they consider, all they think about. They never once could say, well, wait a second, maybe that isn't a bad idea. If you are built on the construct of hate, if you are built to say anything Trump does is bad, well, then anything Trump does is bad. And so you can't support anything that he does. I'm telling you right now, it's no way to live. It is absolutely no way to live, no way to be. It doesn't make any sense. But this is who they are. In every way, who they are. So the question is, what are Republicans going to do about this? Because the Republicans aren't all together because there aren't enough spending cuts. So you now had Trump go back to it and say, hey, maybe we can make some changes. And now you're hearing about the concept of rescission. Not reconciliation, rescission, which is what? Spending cuts through the same type of process, through other pieces of legislation that don't involve the 60-vote threshold in the Senate. Should have started that a couple months ago. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz today. Guys, welcome back. I just noticed that it's a little bit brighter. I don't know, maybe that's not bad. But what I don't use that soft filter. Everybody and their mother now uses that soft filter. I don't know, I think I seem a little bright. You know what? Stay right there for just a moment. That's better. That's better. Thank you. Thanks. Yeah, everyone's using that soft filter, producer Kylan. Have you seen this yet on your Instagrams? Everything is soft filtered. It's just super annoying because no one actually looks like that. And then I been watching these videos about here's how to increase your social media following, and I'm like, these people, does this stuff work? Because basically it's, hey, if you can just create crap, you can get a lot of followers. What it seems to be. Thank you, producer Kylan. We are back in about 10 seconds. Tony Katz. The show is Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. Yes, I am wearing my my Flederman Von Riest right there. That's the Einheit. You can get yours at vonriest.com. Use promo code CATZ, K-A-T-Z, promo code CATZ, K-A-T-Z at vonriest.com and get your discounts. Love Flederman. Assembled right here in Indiana. It's good stuff. Why it is no one else will stand up for women is beyond me. For girls in sports, why it is that we leave them to, well, be attacked and shamed and vilified. It's horrific. It is horrific and it is shameful. And they deserve nothing but our respect. They don't deserve to be left out there being attacked by adults who actually want to feed in to a whole bunch of mental illness. Tony Katz today. Good to be with you. The story over at Fox News. Girls track and field athletes don't stand on podium next to trans athlete at Oregon State Championship. These are some brave kids. And so what they did, these two girls, they were competing against an athlete who is a man. And they felt that it was just wrong that this boy who says they're a girl was in the competition at all. And so they wouldn't get on the podium. And they were told to leave. They were told to leave. As if somehow they did something wrong. They, of course, did absolutely nothing wrong. Now, there's another story. I cannot recall where that was. That might also have been California, where this guy who claims to be a girl just beat the living daylights out of everybody. It was a triple jump and a couple other events. We all know that it's wrong. The issue here is we have 16-year-old girls, 17-year-old girls having to stand up to adults. And adults are fine with telling these girls just to lay back and take it. They should take second place from a boy. They should be forced to accept their place as lesser than men. And these people want to claim that they're feminists. Every time you see a girl do this, I'm thrilled for them. Just like I'd be thrilled with anybody, boy or girl, who stands up for themselves in the face of ridiculous and horrific bullying. Because isn't that what it is? When I hear the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, talk about Trump's a bully and we have to put up with him. We have to push back against him. Oh, and the violence to which he wants to push back. Trump's not a bully. Trump's the president of the United States. Any adult who says a 17-year-old girl should just lay back and take it and let the boy do what he wants to her, because that is what they're saying, that's a bully. Also, that's a perv. That's a creep. That is somebody I don't want in my house, and I don't want having a say in civil society. That's a gross person. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Yes, that this is absolutely true. Correct. Thank you for reminding me. I am told by somebody on the Twitter X, you can follow me, by the way, at Tony Katz, that this right now, as we speak, according to sources, is Pride Month. It was a tweet there. Ironic, it is also Pride Month. They wrote to me. This is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. And that's what I will be referring to on and off all month. Not Pride Month. I think that Rob Schneider's bit about this has, for a lot of people, hit home. And I don't know Rob, but Kylan, Sarah, somebody, let's get him on the show. I'll invite him to Indianapolis, or we'll go to any city. I'll bring him in. A night with Rob? Yeah, I'll produce that. Everybody knows when I say it, I'm serious. I'll do the thing. He did this bit. Why is it Pride Month? Presidents, a day. Lincoln and Washington, a day, and now they have to share it. Veterans, a day. Memorial Day, you die for your country, you get 24 hours. Pride, you get a month. I think that for a lot of people, when they heard that routine, when you hear it's phrased like that, you're like, oh yeah, that is odd and that is awkward. For me, what is odd and is awkward is that this whole pride thing has become a political movement. I don't celebrate political movements. I don't celebrate President's Day either. I don't celebrate Woodrow Wilson. Screw that guy. I don't celebrate Andrew Jackson. Washington, Lincoln, Reagan, sure. Yeah, not a problem. You bet. I don't celebrate some of the others. Some of the others just wholly sucked. I'm not spending some time even thinking about them. Just glad they're gone or glad they're dead. I don't usually say I'm glad people are dead, but you get my point. I'm not here to celebrate any month that would celebrate a 16-year-old girl being told to lay down and take it from a boy. I'm not going to celebrate anything that involves saying to a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old or a 17-year-old, oh, you could say you're a girl when you're a boy. That's fine. That's fine. We'll buy into that. I do not celebrate the buying into mental illness. So this is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, which it happens to be, by the way. And that's something that's deserving of a month. You know what? That's deserving of a quarter. This should be Men's Mental Health Awareness Quarter. 3 months. That's what I'm in favor of. So that's what I'm going to talk about. That's what I'm going to celebrate. Don't ask me to be a part of Pride Month. No thanks. Because we're no longer talking about gay men and gay women living lives. We're far past the fights of Stonewall. You want me to celebrate mental illness and celebrate abusing children. No. What are you, out of your mind? I'm not doing that. I don't want to be any part of that. And I swear to you, some people have texted me that I didn't properly tell the Rob Schneider joke. I couldn't properly tell the Rob Schneider joke because I can't say that on radio. Did you forget I do a radio show? I swear to you, sometimes these people are not helpful. I know they're friends, but sometimes they forget where they are. We're not just hanging around my studio smoking a cigar. There's a whole show and a lot of people listening across the country. I'd like my stations to stay on the air. Thank you very much. Good Lord. I think that, and I do attribute it to that bit. Although other people may have said it, I'm going to attribute it to Rob Schneider. This is very much the moment that Rick Santelli on CNBC said we should have a tea party. Now, maybe you weren't alive when that happened. Maybe you weren't aware when that happened. But when Rick Santelli of CNBC fame said this was 2009, 2010, 2008, we should have a tea party because of the spending and people getting disgusted by what was going on. 2009. Man, that was it. People were like, yep. That's exactly what we're going to do. And that's how it got named the Tea Party. It changed everything. Now, as I've discussed before, the Tea Party in and of itself failed because the Tea Party, and I was a Tea Party guy. I'm an original organizer. I'm one of those people. The first event in California, because I was living in California at the time ever, I was the first speaker. I was one of the organizers, the first speaker at a Tea Party in California ever. I have spoken at events all across the country on this subject. What was not understood was how much Republicans were interested in patting you on the head and not actually doing anything about reducing spending. That was too hard. That was too difficult. And you can draw a straight line to the failures of the Tea Party to Trump. And the idea of, oh my God, what are we actually fighting here? These entrenched interests, and they're from both sides, and they're from all sides, and they are against us. And what the bloody hell? Straight line is what you can do. But that moment of Santilli saying Tea Party, people were like, yep, that's exactly it. I'm giving it up to Schneider. Yeah, maybe it was somebody else and I should give them the credit. I'm not saying that I can't be convinced there. But I'm not giving a month to this. And I'm not going to be told you will comply. Right? The left is not talking about acceptance. You have to cheer it and celebrate it. No. I'm not celebrating anything that tells these young girls who just want to compete. In this case, it's Oregon. It was an Oregon State Championship. I don't want them competing against boys. I don't want to tell them they have to compete against boys. And I'm not going to celebrate the boy who claims they're a girl. I'm not celebrating the mental illness, and I'm not celebrating the abuse. I'm not going to celebrate the puberty blockers. I'm not going to celebrate the mutilation surgery. Not doing it. Pride Month is not for me. Maybe it's for somebody else. Also, shouldn't be a month. But Men's Mental Health Awareness Month should be 3 months. It should be a whole quarter. And I think it's important, and I will be discussing that in the month of June. Keep it here. I'm Tony Katz. This is Tony Katz Today. Thank you, Producer Kylan. We are clear. You got questions, I've got answers. Just leave them in the comments right there. You guys know we're doing a radio show in addition to this, right? So we take the break from the radio side. You can't hear Producer Kylan, who is usually Producer Landon. But somehow, Kylan, Landon is on another show, and you are with, I don't even know what happened. The whole thing is nuts, if you ask me. Kylan has no answer. She's not answering the question. She refuses. So anyway, moral of the story is you can't hear her, but she's right there. And I'm right here. And we do the show 5 days a week. But I have not Done. I haven't done a live stream in a while, so it's good. It's good to be back. It's good to be back with you, and hopefully we'll get back into the swing of things. I don't know if we'll do this every day or not. That's always a thing with me, but we'll see. If you have questions, I've got answers. I'm glad you're here. This cigar is lovely, as always. Very good. A little tight in the draw, so you can kind of pinch, do what's known as the pinch and roll, kind of move that around. I just ashed on my computer. Oh, the struggle is real. The struggle is very, very, very real. But remember, it's a hand-rolled product. It's possible for something to be a little, tighter. So you want to squeeze it, but you don't want to crack the wrappers. So you slowly, like I just did it right there because I wasn't paying attention perfectly. It's okay. I'll still be able to enjoy it. Just like that. Just like that, Kylan. So which do they have you in the Landon studio, or do they have you somewhere else? Okay. Super weird. But okay. All right. Let me see. Oh, the Jake Tapper story. God, I really hope he's making no money from this book. Just such an awful person. But this is terrific. Something else, indeed. Because it's a stunning admission that Alex Thompson gives here. I also can I show you guys, this is the video I'm looking at right here. Like, hold on, here it is right here. That is the worst Tears for Fears cover band I have ever seen. Look at that. That's awful, right? Like that. These are the two guys who play the cruise ship who have a chip on their shoulder that they never made it. I can't believe our Wham cover band didn't work. I don't know. Pick yours. Anytime. Just add whatever you like. Oh, Jake Tapper. Awful. Awful human being. And I'm going to share something with you that's going to make you scream. 30 seconds until the radio show. I'm going to clean this up here because I spilled my ash all over the place. Like an amateur. There we go. Not my first cigar. Not my first rodeo. All right. Coming back to the show in mere moments. See, that hurts the arm. Doing that. Right? Oh, that too. It'll get better. It's fascinating when they admit their own fraud. And you can't talk about people admitting their own fraud without talking about Jake Tapper, in my view. Tony Katz today, good to be with you. Jake Tapper of CNN, Alex Thompson of Axios, they write this book about Joe Biden. Oh my gosh, the cover-up. I can't believe the Biden administration lied and there was this cover-up and who was running the country. Well, we could have told you this. Oh, wait, we did. We did tell you this. You guys didn't listen. You guys didn't care. Allow me to prove it. Tony Katz. Did I say hello, Tony Katz, today? I forget sometimes. They went on this podcast, did Alex Thompson and Jake Tapper, and it's called The Issue Is. And I want you to hear it in their own words.
Tapper of CNN on this. How did that partnership come to be?
It was Jake's idea. It actually started the day before the election. He just happened to have me on set that day. And, we were friendly, but we weren't like, let's write a book together friends. And he said, I think she might lose. I've been having this idea for a book about how the Democratic Party let Trump return. Would you be interested? And I sort of, I said non-committally, said, yes, I'm interested. And then the day after the election, he sent me a draft of a book proposal, and we were off to the races. And finally, a lot of Democrats that have been reluctant to talk to us, we talked to over 200 of them, finally started chatting. And
now, I called it a podcast, but it's a show, so forgive me there. Are you telling me that the reason Jake Tapper came to you with this book, and there's also a story that somehow Alex Thompson had wanted to do this book and no publisher was interested, but when Jake Tapper got involved, then they all got interested because they knew it would be talked about on CNN, therefore they could sell a lot of books, right? So there's that. I don't know where the truth is in that or not. But are you telling me that Jake Tapper only wanted to write this book because he thought Kamala Harris was going to lose? Let's go back again.
It was Jake's idea. It actually started the day before the election. He just happened to have me on set that day. And, we were friendly, but we weren't like, let's write a book together friends. And he said, I think she might lose. I've been having this idea for a book about how the Democratic Party let Trump return. Would you be interested?
So if I were to take that again, listen to that again. You're telling me that if Kamala Harris had won, he wouldn't have written the book about Joe Biden's mental status and the coup, who was actually really running the country, and the cover-up and the lies of Joe Biden, who's guilty of elder abuse and everything else? The book would never have been written. Which goes to something Scott Jennings said. If Joe Biden had won, they would still be saying, Jake Tapper et al. Would still be saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with Joe Biden. He's fine. Oh, he's terrific. Oh, he's cogent. Oh, he's 81. Maybe he slipped a little. But my gosh, listen to what the aides say. He's running rings around them. They can't keep up. The only place Joe Biden is running to is to get ice cream when he hears the little chime. Right? Whatever the ice cream truck plays when it comes by. They wouldn't have written the book, which proves the fraud. They knew what was happening. They always knew what was happening. They didn't care that they lied to you. They didn't care that they lied to us. They don't care that they covered it up. Now they write a book as a way of saying, hey, we didn't do this. We're the media. You could trust us. If it ain't talk radio, I don't know if I'd trust it at all. All right, couple sites out there. But everything else, don't trust it just because you see it on TV. Good Lord. Keep it here. This is Tony Katz today. Guys, not a bad way to get back into the live streaming. We're going to do more this week. I just wanted to make sure I still knew what I was doing and get back to it. I appreciate you guys being here. I can't tell you how disgusting I think Jake Tapper is, but it's pretty dang disgusting. And also follow and like and subscribe in all the places if you would. It's easy. And of course, TonyKatz.com. That's where we have everything. Absolutely everything is at TonyKatz.com. You should be a part of that and check that out. More tomorrow. I promise. I appreciate you very, very much. I'm sorry, Freddie. I know you just got here. I know you did. But don't worry. We're going to post all of this. And look at that. Sarah's back. It's good to see you, Sarah. See? Greetings and salutations. That's how you know. She's back. And Dana, I am also very sick of these people. I truly am. Truly am. Guys, let me go with, there's more radio show going on, WIBC.com. You can listen to the live stream there. I appreciate you. And I'll be back with more tomorrow. We'll do some more live streaming. That is the plan. Catch you later.